Welcome to Tank Tuesday, folks. We just got done feeding our fish. They're all happy. You can see Bonnie sitting down there with a full belly. We got Sheriff here. He's not doing anything mischief right now because he's got a full belly, and Clyde hanging out over there behind the rocks. So for this Tank Tuesday, we have something special. We're going to move to the 55-gallon aquarium. Alright, this is our 55-gallon planted aquarium. We got Moby right here front and center as always. He's the friendliest bass I've ever seen. And let's see if we can spot, yep, there's the new pet bass that we've got back there in the back. He's a little bit of a shy guy. He hadn't came out very much. He's only been in the tank 2 days. So there he is. There's a good look at him right there. So he's been adapting, and we're about to do a special experiment where we test out micro lures here. So we're going to drop, micro lures have been a pretty popular style of fishing here lately. So we caught these fish on small minnows. So we're going to test some of the smallest lures that are on the market today, and I have no doubt that Moby's going to eat some of them, but we'll at least get to see his reaction to different style baits. We're going to try some topwater, some of the bottom stuff, maybe some swim baits, things like that. Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention, we are going to name this little guy in the back next Tuesday. A lot of you guys have sent us good names in. I'm going to get Liz to name him. You can see the catfish and him hanging out back there in the back. But we are going to name him officially in next Tank Tuesday's video. Alright, we're all set up and ready to go. Let me go over really quick the baits and style rod we're going to be using. We're going to use an ice fishing rod with 4-pound test. And we have some little small Rebel baits. But first, I pulled out of my fly collection. We have a topwater cricket and a topwater bee. That's what we're going to try first. And then we're going to move to some diving lures. That's the old Rebel lures. This is a small crawfish, a small minnow, a small hellgrammite. And then we have more. This is a soft plastic crawfish. This is another cricket. This is a little small swim bait. This is just a little grub. Alright, first up is going to be the cricket. I got the hook cut off. Let's drop it in. Alright, first lure is a cricket, and I can already tell you Moby, he's wound up. He's ready to eat. So I got Liz helping me out. We're going to drop it in. You going left or right, Liz?
I'm going to the right.
Alright, we're going to the right. Oh, yes. Definite strike. Let's go to the left, Liz. Over here on this side. Watch it work for a second. Alright, pull it on out. Oh, we have some interest in our new bass.
Oh, yeah.
He is ready to eat. That's really cool because we hadn't fed him yet. Alright, next up is the bumblebee. He hit the cricket pretty hard. I'm pretty sure he's going to hit the bumblebee. Alright, we have both of them here active, like they're interested. Liz, let's go ahead and drop the bumblebee in. You going left or right? Oh, he's going right. You go left. Fast. Drop it back over to the left again. The far left. Oh, that's the new bass. He tried it out, so some definite interest in the little bugs, but they know something's up. Alright, on to the next. Alrighty, next up is the mini crawfish. Alright, so this crawfish is a little diving crankbait, and we have this little centerpiece. So what I'm going to get Liz to do is drop it here, and I'm going to pull it out this side all the way over to here. That way when she drops it in, it can dive down to about center of the tank, and we can see how they react to a diving bait. He's hitting it before. He loves topwater, that's for sure. Alright, we got the 2 bass hanging out. We got the crawfish right there on the top. Liz is about to pull it in. Let's see how they react to it. Not interested at all. Well, a little bit of interest. Not that interested though, for the most part. Too little to enjoy crawfish. Nope. Moby's not interested at all, and if he doesn't bite at it, that tells you something. So crawfish is a no-go. Nope. Still no interest. Alright, next up is going to be the crappie crawl. This is the brand of it right here, and this is really interesting to me. This is something I would use for bass fishing. It's just a micro version of it, but I love that coloration. I put it on a little 1/32 ounce jig head. We're going to drop it in. This is going to be the first bottom lure we've tested. Alright, and one last little thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little touch of super glue right there around the jig head. That way the plastic will stay attached to it. The last thing I want to do, now that we don't have a hook, is for them to pull that plastic off the bait and end up swallowing it. Alright, next up, the mini crawfish. This is something, if I was a bass, I would eat it. And Moby looks like he's going to eat it. Let's drop it in, Liz. Yes, he's definitely trying to eat it. This is probably the first time he's ever seen a crawfish. Oh look, both bass are interested. Right, drop it right back down the middle, Liz. Yep, they're definitely interested in this. I can almost guarantee you this is the first time either of them have ever seen a soft plastic bait. But they're a little hesitant now. They've tried it. It may taste like super glue. Alright, let's pull it out. That was a success for sure. I think I'm definitely going to use that bait whenever I go micro fishing next time. Alright, next up is going to be a hellgrammite, and this is something that a lot of you have requested that we put in the tank live. So this will be a good clue to whether or not the bass will eat hellgrammites, but I feel like this is probably the biggest lure that we're going to test, and they may not hit it just because of the sheer size of it, so let's test it out. Alright, Liz, going to drop it right here, and I'm going to pull it over to the other side. Whoop. He hit it one time. Let's get it set up right there. On the, oh, it sinks.
Okay.
Oh, I kind of like this one. It actually sinks a little bit. Alright, Liz, so I'm just going to drop it in right here and let it sink all the way to the bottom and then start reeling it. Moby's interested. Go ahead and reel it. Probably not much he's not interested in. This lure is a little bit too big though, I think. It's the size of the minnows he eats, but it's a big one. New bass is not interested. Let's go on and move to the next bait. I think it's a little bit too big for this testing. Alright everyone, we're sitting here doing testing and a little gecko pops out on the window right here in the middle of all of our tests. I know you guys probably think I should have thrown it in the tank to test it out, but maybe some other day. Leave me a comment below whether I should have put that little gecko in the tank for testing. Alright, next up is going to be the Gulp Cricket. And I've got it rigged up on a little jig head right here, and if nothing else, this thing smells. Gulp has their own little scents they put in their baits that you can see right there in that liquid little pouch right there, and it smells. Alright Liz, let's drop the cricket. Oh, he's attacking it. They love the little soft plastic baits. He was one and done though. He only hit it one time. There was something he didn't like about it. Let's see if we can get the other bass over. Nope, the other bass is out hiding. Moby's coming back. So that was kind of a... You would have caught him if you were using it out in the wild, but once he saw it, he was done with it. So maybe it's that scent. Maybe he doesn't like that Gulp scent. I'm telling you, it's strong. Alright, now we're fixing to do the ultimate test of dropping live bait down in there with worms and live minnows. But first, let me give you a quick grade on what I feel these micro lures graded out as. I think that the crawfish was definitely the best. Both fish came over and hit it. That is definitely something I'll be using in one of my upcoming micro fishing videos. The next were the two topwater bugs. The top one is the cricket and the second one is a little bumblebee. Both of those did really well. After that, I'd say the little underwater cricket on a jig head did pretty good, and then the two diving baits were probably the worst. The crawfish and then the hellgrammite, those got a little bit of reaction from them, but not a whole lot. So soft plastics did good, topwater did good, diving baits were probably the least effective. So we've got a few other baits that we're going to save and probably do some other time. We got a little jointed swim bait, some other swim baits, and a grub we'll probably do in the next video. But now we're going to quit testing on these fish and actually drop them some food in there that they can eat. Alright, so now as we watch some of the feeding clips from this past week, we're going to talk about questions from Last Tank Tuesday's video. And the most popular question that we had from Last Tank Tuesday was, what should we name our new pet bass? And we got a ton of feedback. We had over 6,000 comments. I've read every single one of them. The majority vote was something along the lines of Moby and Dick, or Richard, or Ahab, or something to do with the author's name for the Moby Dick story. But as I was reading through all the comments, one of them really stood out to me, and it came from Louisiana Bottoms Outdoors TV. And he said, BamaBass, name him Hatfield, and when you get a perch, name it McCoy, like the old Hatfield and McCoys. So if any of you are unfamiliar with that story, and it's something that I loved, you know, watching the story and as I was growing up, the Hatfield and McCoys, they are the two biggest feuding families that existed in the U.S., and they were on the Kentucky-West Virginia border, and they fought all their lives. So once I thought about this comment that Louisiana Bottoms Outdoors left, it kind of made sense, and it kind of had a little ring to it. So Moby and McCoy would be a good name. It has a little ring to it. And then after we get our crappie, we could name it Hatfield. So that way we would have Bonnie and Clyde, Hatfield and McCoy, and Moby. So I want you all to leave me a comment below to whether you like this idea, or if you dislike it, let me know that. Or if you have another idea, let me know that, because we're going to name it 1 week from today. We're going to name it in next Tank Tuesday's video, Bonnie and Clyde, Hatfield and McCoy, and Moby. So just let us know in the comment section below. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. We got some good live feeding clips coming up in next Tank Tuesday's video. You're not going to want to miss that. Hit that subscribe button so you can join us every Tuesday for these new Tank Tuesday videos. Hope you all enjoyed it. See you next week.
Bonnie and Clyde were pretty looking people, but I can tell you people, they were the devil's children.